The one thing I can tell you that I would not ever want to do this life without him. I love you.
Love you.
What's good? 'Cause we just trying to get it poppin', what's good?
Well, Fisher, you ready to talk about the story?
Yep, I'm ready to talk about it.
Me too. Well, everyone, today we're going to let you inside our life about right after my accident. We're going to talk to Fisher about, the immediate responsibility that was put on his shoulders at the age of around 5 years old. And to start the story off, I'm kind of going to have to start it off because you don't remember a whole lot about it when it first happened, right, Fish?
No, I was too young.
Yeah, Fisher, like I said, he was 4 when I had my accident, so somewhere around 5, he became my caregiver. Me and my ex-wife got divorced, and so them responsibilities got put on Fisher. And this picture here that we're showing you is a picture of me in the hospital, and this is the first time that Fisher had seen me, since my accident, and this was about 6 months after I'd had my accident. I was at the Shepherd Center. And the picture in this same picture is me and Fisher during the same time period. We were out to eat with some friends. This was a little later on in the period because I'd actually got a little bit better. And, them were hard times, Fisher. Do you remember staying with your mama?
Not a whole lot just because I was really young, but yeah, I did stay with her a little bit.
Yeah, you stayed with both of your mamas, your grandy and your mama, and you were a little bitty thing, and and so that was what you would do when your mother would go to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta. We live in Kentucky, and so and I'll show you the last picture, Fisher, right here. We're going to show everybody the last picture. This was with the picture of you driving the boat right here is just a day or two right before my accident, and then the one where you're holding a bluegill, it's just a few days before that. Me and a friend of mine had went and caught some, but it gives everybody a view of how small you were, and you grew up in a boat, right?
Yep, grew up in a boat.
Yep. And so throughout this video, we'll show some pictures over the years of Fisher holding fish that he has caught and being a part of the outdoors. So Fisher, again, 5.5, whatever it was, he gets thrown into being my caregiver. Do you remember changing your dad's full-time catheter?
Not really, just because of how young I was. But I don't remember a lot of that stuff just because I was 4, 5, 6, 7, and I don't have the brain to remember that stuff.
You don't remember that? With
No.
Fisher, like I said, he would change my catheter, fully cathetered in. Fisher would cook meals for me and Fisher at that age. They'd be real simple, but I would be in my power chair, and I would direct Fisher on how to cook, and then he would fix a plate, and Fisher would feed me and feed himself, because at that time I'd regained some arm movement, but not a lot at that time, and so anyway, that's how I got to that point. But we'll fast forward a little bit to the point of when you start remembering, which is around 2014. I had my accident in 2010, and you remember from around 2014, that's when Dad first started dating, right?
Yeah, again.
That's what you remember. So, how I'm going to do this, Fisher, is I'm going to ask you just some series of questions. Growing up, the bond that me and Fisher have is more like a mother and a son than what most people have, is because of, I guess it's just the amount of time we spent together. I really don't know. But Fisher, what is your fondest memories? What's your first memories that you remember taking care of Dad?
Like the first memories that I remember?
Yes.
Whenever from 2014, we kind of did the same type of stuff that we do nowadays, except like the van and all that. Like unless we got rid of it, like we did the van and got a car.
Excuse me. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, but probably the biggest thing I did for you then was probably you could feed yourself then, right?
Yep.
I cook most of the meals too. Still a better cook than he is, no doubt.
Yep. So you cooked meals back then.
Still do it today.
Still do today. Yep. Still wash clothes. You wash clothes back then. And so 2014, you're born in 2008. And so now by then you're 6 years old. And so at 6, Fisher's still doing the same things. Around 2014, I lost the indwelling catheter, the Foley catheter. So you would change my catheter for about 2 years. And I would change it once a month. And, I always laugh and tell people that all the what's it called, to be sterile, there wasn't a whole lot of sterile going on with a 5-6 year old changing the Foley catheter helping me. He was just grabbing the hose or whatever and just whatever it took. And Fisher would also at that time would have to help me in and out of the bed into the wheelchair. I could not transfer on my own at this time. Remember that?
Not really, but just because of how young I was, I don't know how I did it.
Well, luckily, the thing about it is right when me and your mom got divorced, I'd got a new lift, and it was a lift that you could work with the remote control, and it would go side to side, up and down, and so it made it a lot easier with you. The hardest part was just getting the sling on me, which you don't remember, but you done all that, and so, and at that age, again, you would cook, wash dishes, you would do all that stuff, and we would get by that way. At nighttime, you would turn Dad, and you would put the wedges underneath me, pillows at the time when I needed that kind of help.
Yeah, I don't understand how, because you're a decent size, you're 6'6", and I was not even 5 foot probably.
No, you was a little bitty still then. We got pictures right now. We'll give you right here, we'll show some pictures of Fisher of how little he was at this time. And so, but anyway, through them hard times, me and Fisher bonded. And then we get into around 2014, which you remember, started dating, which kind of, I'll be honest with you, put a little bit of a divide in me and Fisher. He did not like that. It had been me and him, and you did not like it. We don't have to get into that part of it, but, definitely he did not like it. And so ultimately, obviously, I'm still not married, so that did not work out. But anyway, we're older, and Fisher is in school, and so we just released a daily video. A daily video for a daily chore for you, Fisher, would be, you get Dad up, right? So just tell everybody what you would do in a day.
Well, if you watched our other video we just made,
we'll put it in the description below.
Well, the things I did would be get my dad up, and then if we cooked breakfast that morning, cook breakfast. And then I'd go to school, and then I rode the bus home. And this is just right now, but now since football's happening, he comes to my practices. And after practice, we go get McDonald's a lot. We need to stop eating it. But we get that, or we cook. And then we get home. I help him out of the car, bring him inside. If he needs to use the restroom, then he can go use the restroom. And then after that, he usually gets in his chair 30 minutes later. And then we sit and watch TV for 45 minutes to an hour and go to bed.
But, to give people an idea of what you do, that's not really everything. Like here, I'll show you a clip of Fisher, when we used to have a van that the door opened and closed and when it worked. And so anyway, that's back when I used my power chair. And I now use a tie-light manual chair. But so, I can put the chair in and out of the car, but it's really, it takes me forever. And Fisher can do it in just a couple minutes. And, in this video here that we're showing, it gives you an idea of, of what Fisher does. Anytime we go somewhere, he breaks my wheelchair down, he puts it in, he takes it back out, puts it together. And so Fisher is constantly helping me. And, the one thing that Fisher doesn't understand is, quite honestly, no ands, no ifs, no buts. Fisher kept me out of the nursing home. I would have been in a nursing home, no questions about it. And I will always be indebted to him. He has went far and beyond what any, son should do, and he's only 12, and we've still got a lifetime to go. But but me and Fisher, we have done a lot of different things. Fisher, we grew up doing a lot of fishing, right?
Mm-hmm. We haven't done it in a little bit in a while. We need to get back doing that.
Yeah. And, we've got some pictures here of some fish that Fisher's caught. One of the biggest things that we were able to do is with Fisher is played a lot of football.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to coach for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And, we got pictures of that going up as you see them. But these things were, again, even though we were doing them together, Fisher, you were the one making it happen, because without you, I couldn't have done them things. So, just like coaching football, you're always constantly getting me in and out of the car. At games, making sure that I'm getting where I need to be, right?
I pushed you a number of times during the games.
Yeah, when you weren't in the game, you were pushing me sometimes. So, and so he has always been there. And I think, Fisher, that, what we have described is the love part of it. But there's a good part of this that I think takes a great deal of faith, don't you?
Yeah, because we have a real tight bond, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes, and and we're not perfect in any ways. Trust me, we're not. But I do try to, in every way possible. I try to raise Fisher knowing our Father, Jesus Christ, and one of it's not one of, it is the highlight of my life is right here in this picture here. You're seeing Fisher, he's being baptized, and he has accepted the Lord. And so that is the faith is definitely something that's brought us through a lot, right?
Definitely.
Just the faith. people, it is amazing what Fisher has been through to take care of me and the things that we've been through together. And then, we, like I said, all the highlights that we've been through. And then there is a certain aspect of anger to it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think that'd be in any kind of relationship, no matter what it is, whether it's a mom and a son, a dad and a son, a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
But I think the anger that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about anger of arguments. Okay. I'm saying that at an earlier age, up until about a year ago, you never thought of the aspect of why me, who put this on, why did this happen to me, and, for about a year, there's an anger part that, as, a young man, that you don't necessarily understand why this was put on your shoulders, right?
Yeah, I would say about 10 to 11, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
But I just never knew why God chose me to do that.
Yeah. And it really, it's something that chokes us up, because, it bothers me too. But I tell Fisher all the time that it'll make him stronger. And, it's hard to tell a young man that his life is so much different than others. And, he's had to endure so much, it's tough, right? Mm-hmm. It is. It's tough, right? It's tough. And, he is a strong young man.
I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, you are. You're strong. He's the best football player I've ever seen. He's the best son that anybody could ever have. And the story that I tell you, we can't even imagine to tell you what he means to me and what he's done for me. The one thing I can tell you that I would not ever want to do this life without him. I love you.
Love you.
My bugs. It's hard on Fisher. It's hard on Fisher at this age to do what you have to do, right? The responsibility that's on your shoulders, right?
Yes, yeah.
It is. And, you know, to this day, you know, me and Fisher, you know, he probably does cook more than me. You know, Fisher, before you leave, you always make sure that everything's in place for me if you go spend a couple days with your mom, right?
Yeah, like hit your pads and stuff like that. Make sure they're on the bed. Your man pads that you keep down there.
The food in the refrigerator up close.
Yep. So like you don't have to reach back there and follow your chair. The pantry, make sure that the door's open on it.
So there's, you know, that it's almost like your job's never done, and it's a lot, and you know, it's but I always tell him that one day this will pay off, because this will make him a better person. And I've also told him that when he turns 18 and he goes to college, I'm going to the nursing home. He's leaving me. He's going to live his life. I don't have to go to the nursing home, I don't think. You know, actually, I think, matter of fact, I know I don't. But, you know, I joke. You know, if I had to go to the nursing home, I would. Because I want him to live his life. And, you know, whatever that may be. And so in a nutshell, Fisher, you know, you've done a good job.
Thanks.
I love you.
Love you.
And we hope that y'all have enjoyed this video, and we will continue to bring more of our story on our YouTube channel. We would like to ask everyone, as you've seen the Facebook and Instagram pop-ups on the bottom of the screen throughout this video, to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Make sure that you share all our videos on all your social media. Make sure that you like all our videos. Make sure you put comments on our videos. Comment about Fisher. Most of all, make sure that you hear the bell right now, and make sure that you
like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Thank y'all.
See ya.
What's good? 'Cause we just tryna get it poppin', what's good?